Telegram as well. Hello everyone on Telegram. First and foremost, good to have you here. Everybody on Second Life. Rocca, good to have you here. Rimael, good to see you back again. Wonderful. Let me clear my throat a bit before we get started. Hello everyone on Vero True Social and on Mastodon and on the Orion Messenger as well. I know you're all catching the recording most likely, but that's fine. That's just as well. So good to have you here. My name is Seb, the founder of the Transformational Meditation Group, and this podcast is called Love Your Love Muscle, which means that we are focusing on our heart in this podcast. We always do heart-focused meditations, heart-focused techniques, self-regulation techniques, and we focus on heart-based living from the heart, using our intuition, using the sixth sense that our heart provides to us. And you will learn more about that if you haven't already. And you will learn more about that if you are new to this podcast. We do this every other week on Mondays, more often than not. So yeah, let's just dive into it. The theme for this week is overcoming the fear of failing, and especially failing in school. It's an article I have written for Brains magazine that is not out right yet. My Patreon supporters can already read the article. They have first access, and it will take a few days before the kind people of Brains magazine have found pictures or whatever they do. Maybe they do slide edits, I'm not sure. Last time they published it pretty quick. It might take 3 to 5 days. I sent it in yesterday, so probably you will notice that it will get published in a couple of days. But I'll give you a sneak preview, and we're going to do a short technique based around helping people that have a fear of failing in school. So let me grab my notes and just let you know what the article is talking about. So it's not uncommon, you know, when you're a student, you're in school or university or high school, college maybe, and you are a bit nervous for doing your exam or just anxious about doing as good as possible. Some people study hard but still find it uncomfortable doing their exams, their tests. And what might happen, or it can happen in some situations, is that the anxiety, the fear, the stress about that creates so much noise inside our head, in our mind, that we experience something we call cortical inhibition, which means there's so much noise going on, we aren't able to think straight anymore and focus on the task at hand, focus on doing the exam, for example, because that's a bit of the example we're going to do and we're going to focus on today. Is like anxious for your exam and the fear of not passing your test. And what can you do about that? Which is often a common situation students can find themselves in. Other situations may be, and we've seen good results with treatment, with self-regulation techniques for that as well. Maybe you are a student that has problems at home. Maybe the situation at home isn't ideal. There's a lot going on, a lot of distractions that take your focus away from school, your focus away from studying. And that can happen. Things in life can happen, you know. And that also can cause noise during your test or prior to your test, or noise when you try to perform at school. You're getting distracted by it. Sorry. It takes the overhand, such kind of issues you might have. So what can you do about it? Well, there are some techniques that we teach students to help them overcome that fear of failing and help them overcome the stress that noise creates inside ourselves, inside our minds. So some practical self-regulation techniques you can do. The easy one, mindful breathing, right? We've talked about it a lot. Regulating your breathing pattern has a direct effect on our nervous system. And it's no different when you're a little bit stressed out or anxious or have a fear of something that's happening for school. So that's one thing. Another thing is a positive visualization. You can prepare for your test, for example, or your school day by doing a positive visualization. I talked about that a lot in other situations as well, and I do it a lot myself, especially in the morning. Every morning I do a heart-brain coherence meditation. I focus on my heart, breathe through my heart, and I kind of adjust my radio settings to the state of being I want to be in during that day. But you can do the same with a positive visualization. You can dial in to a state of being where you know already that your test is going to be fine, that you're going to do a good test, or that teacher you don't like is going to be for once one day in the week nice to you, or is relaxed themselves, or that other student in the class that you have a slight problem with, you can visualize and train yourself to have a positive experience around that nevertheless. So many people say these kind of things, isn't this just faking it? Like, why, how will that affect my reality? I mean, first of all, most you have to believe that this works, of course, but you're actually training your nervous system to be in that state of being you want to be in. You're training your nervous system for success. You're training your mind and body for success. You're training your mind and body for something more positive instead of the fear and the anxiety. You're switching over to a different energy, a different frequency, and it does have effect. Just start journaling, which is actually part of our tip number 3, our third technique, emotional regulation, where we often say, well, change your state of being, a bit like visualization, but you take the feelings and emotions with it as well. You already create the experience inside of you as if it is already happening or happening right now. And you can write that down. You can also, when you practice this, you feel the triggers. You notice during your school day that the points during the day where you change, where you get triggered, and you can have that little pause that you normally wouldn't notice. You can now recognize that little pause where you notice, hey, this is frustrating me. Hey, this is stressing me out. Hey, this is actually triggering a little bit of fear in myself. I'm getting a little bit anxious listening to the teacher telling me that I have to do this and that before tomorrow. You will notice that instead of going on autopilot and freaking out, you actually have that little pause and say, okay, let's regulate my response here and go and dial into a different emotion, a different frequency. And that's what you can train doing this self-regulation technique, which we could go and practice in a moment, okay? So all this is just training your nervous system. It's training your mind and body for success. It's setting up the hardware and the software inside of you to perform better, to see things from a different perspective. It's training. It's training. It's the same thing that athletes do before they go onto the field and play a game, or before they dive into the swimming pool to make their new record-breaking rounds, you know? So they visualize, they already experience how it is to be successful, to be the fastest swimmer, to know where the ball is all the time when you play on the football field. So, but just training that, you rig your body, you set up your heart and software inside of you to perform already on a level of success. It doesn't mean that you always will succeed, but having trained on success, having getting used or having trained your body to get used to success, to get used to being able to focus better instead of being distracted by noise. The negative outcome of a test, for example, doesn't hit you so hard. It also doesn't like confirm like, ah, you see, I'm stupid, something like that. Many students in the recent years, I have kids that are in school myself, and many school kids, they often say, I'm stupid, I'm not good enough. And don't do that, because you're training your mind and body to actually be in that state of being. So don't do that. Train yourself for success. Visualize, make positive affirmations, do emotional regulations, find out and train yourself to recognize those triggers when you're getting into that negative spiral, and then you're able to stop it and change your frequency. The final tip, goal setting and planning. I find it very difficult myself, but it really helps if you have the tools available to you, because not everybody is so well organized in their mind. I'm not myself either. I mean, I'm a meditation teacher, but I'm actually not very well organized in my mind. I have to be honest with that. It has been getting better over time, but I'm still far away from what I see other people do. They are so organized. I need tools. I need a notebook. I use software. At my other work, I use software to put in a lot of tasks that I have to do and keep track of things, because my mind is just full sometimes, so much going on. So you need some help through your notebook or anything like that. Set goals, do some planning, and make realistic plans. And it gives just a nice feeling to just be able to cross off anything on the list. Like, oh, I've done these 3 tasks today. And it gives a good feeling. It gives a rewarding feeling, which is nice to have. So try to plan things, set goals, realistic goals, not too many, not too big, just small goals that are achievable, and work your way up to the bigger goals that way. Or if you have a big goal, a big end point, like, wow, this is huge, if I can achieve this, break it up in smaller parts and go step for step. Okay? As always, I'm talking too much. Let's get practicing, right? Let's do the mindful breathing, the positive visualization, and the emotional regulation, which will help you a lot. We're not going into the goal setting and planning. I don't know how we do that during a guided meditation, but let's get started. And as you will notice, if you have been with us before, it is again heart focused, it is heart brain coherence, but we do some positive visualization. We're going to visualize how it is to perform well during a test, how it feels to know the answers, to be sure about the answers, to not be in doubt or anything like that, and how it will feel to recognize when things go wrong and how you would react to that. So we're going to practice that during this short guided meditation. So take a nice good seat, find a comfortable position, make sure you have good enough support. And as always, especially for those that had a long day, take a nice deep inhale through your nose, just fill those lungs with air. Exhale through your mouth. Lower your shoulders, loosen your jaw, close your eyes, settle down, take another nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Settle down, settle down. Wonderful. Now breathe nice and calm and more deeply than you usually would do. Nice, calm, deep breaths. And for the sake of time, as most of the people here have been with me for quite some time, for the sake of time, just go straight to your heart. Focus on your heart space, the middle of your chest, Maybe you want to put your hand on your chest right away. Focus on your heart and imagine breathing through your heart. Imagine the air going in and out of your chest area as you breathe nice and calm with deep breaths through your heart. Just do that a couple of times and continue doing that during the whole session. And for those that are new to this, just know that by focusing on our heart in this way and breathing through our heart in this way, we not only calm the nervous system down, we also create a very nice heart rhythm variation, very nice balanced, coherent heart rhythm variation. This balances our nervous system even more. And for many people, this is already enough, just breathing through your heart. That's that breathing exercise, that first step we mentioned earlier. Just breathing, calming down. You can do this anytime you notice that you're getting distracted, that the noises in your head during a test take the overhand, or you can't focus pretty well on what the teacher says in class. Just breathe through your heart for a moment. Calm down and then get back to your test or your focus or whatever you were focusing on. Good. Keep breathing through your heart nice and calm. And now visualize yourself being in a classroom, doing a test. And for the emotional regulation, get yourself in a state of being where you do a good test. You see the questions, it's a multiple choice test maybe, and for many questions you know the answer right away, and for other questions you are even able to think your way through it, to reason about the answers and pick the correct answer. And we all know how that feels, right? When you just know that it's the right answer. Or if you're someone that's often doubting when they see a lot of answers, possible answers, you're doubting between 2 or 3 answers. How does it feel just to be able to pick the right one? It's a relief, right? Maybe you feel gratitude, joy. So not only visualize, not only create that scene of you being in the classroom with a test in front of you, crossing off the answers, writing down the answers in a calm manner, focused manner. Also feel how that feels, being in control. And when you don't know an answer, you calmly let it go and come back to that question later without worrying about it. Just let it go. Go to the next question. Also know that it's okay to not know everything. It's okay to take your time. If you don't know the answer right away, again, let it go. Get back to it later. Sometimes the questions that follow give inspiration. to answer that question that you couldn't answer before. And if you are plagued with a lot of distractions in your life that pull you away from focusing on your schoolwork, on your studies, visualize and imagine how it feels to be so focused on your test, so focused on being here and now in the present moment, to be able to step away from worries and other things that you can't control at that moment, how it feels to be just present without distractions. Can you feel that relief? Just build those feelings and emotions inside of you as you breathe through your heart. Feel the relief, feel the joy, feel the relaxation as you focus just on the present moment, just on doing what you can do and need to do right now. Again, this is training. This is just familiarizing your nervous system, your body, your mind, familiarizing it with being a successful student. And if you during this session get distracted, that's okay. That's just a practice, And it's a good thing you notice, because then you can get back to you breathing to your heart and continue where you left off, or just start over again. Never judge yourself, never get frustrated because you missed focus for a while. It happens to everybody. And like I said in the start of this session, we are all in different phases of our life, and there's always something happening in our lives, one way or another, sooner or later. We will all come in a situation where there are distractions, where other things catch our focus, need our attention, and that's fine. That's what life is all about. But being able to be the superhero of your life, being able to be resilient, to be able to refocus, to be able to have control over what you should focus on in any given moment. That's what these techniques do. These techniques help you. They help so many people. They protect you from getting into a negative spiral of chronic stress, disease, just by teaching you. Just get your mind and body, your nervous system familiar with success. Wonderful. Now let's get back to the current present moment. Become more aware of the room you are in, and more aware of the sounds in the room you are in. And remember and take with you that success formula for you. You can do this anytime. This isn't a pill that you take one time and it works. You need practice. Do this every day especially before a test. Visualize, regulate your emotions, create that experience inside of you of doing a good test, being successful, being in control, feeling that you can not always have to answer every question right away. You know the drill. Okay. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth again. Move your body back and forth from side to side. Wiggle with your fingers and toes if you want to. And open your eyes when you're ready. Welcome back. Welcome back. So I hope that was good for you. And again, I can't stress this enough. This is practicing. This is not fake it until you make it, by the way, though you could say that, but I don't prefer to say it that way. This is just practicing. Make yourself familiar with being a success, being able to cope with things and deal with things in the for you most preferred and best way. Okay. Great. Okay, Rocca had some troubles. Yeah, that's what happens in Second Life with voice. It doesn't always work. I can always recommend just using the normal Second Life viewer. Don't use Firestorm or anything else. It doesn't always work. They're very unstable. I have most success just using the standard Second Life viewer. So for those that are joining me on Second Life, we have been here for many, many years. I can't even count them, the years we've been doing sessions on Second Life. It's just a great, great, great group with people that are joining in. Rimal says that it was incredible today, even if I have no test, but it felt a tingling sensation like goosebump on my head. Also felt a deep relaxation today. I'm so happy about this. Maybe it did solve a problem from my past school days. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're not in school anymore, you can do this before meetings, before presentations. If you're working for a company where you have to hold presentations, for example, maybe you're a salesman and want to convince buyers to buy your product, and you're a bit anxious or nervous about presenting that product. You can visualize, you can train your mind and body to be a success. And again, success is not guaranteed, but at least you're doing something, right? And practice, and you will get much better about it. And one of those nice side effects that I always have when I do heart-focused meditation and heart-focused techniques is that for some reason you get more flow in your life. So it does something, right? It does something positive. It doesn't always have to be perfect, but it works. It does benefit a lot of people one way or another. So there's actually no reason not to do this. Yeah? You can't say I don't have time for this, because if you get proficient at it, if you get more used to it, you just go straight to your heart. After 3 to 5 minutes, more than enough. You brush your teeth every day, morning and evening. You can also do a short meditation and self-regulation session in the morning especially. Okay, thank you so much. I hope this helped. And of course, through all the social channels, you will get to know when the article in Brains magazine about overcoming fear for failing in school, when that article is out. So I hope you will like it, and then we dive in more detail as well, a little bit behind the science behind this all. Okay, enough for today, enough for this week. I hope to see you back in 2 weeks again for a new theme and a new session. Take good care, be safe, and namaste.